It's amazing how we come into line setting the location as screen lines. It's an incredible force when we come into all set locations. It's about loving ourselves unconditionally. What does that mean? Loving ourselves unconditionally. Well, it's about understanding how to balance these things, location of space and time. Space and time is in provisional locations. You look at the minutes, you look at the hours, you look at the seconds, you look at every seven location calculations. That's what you focus on. You focus on you, me, myself, and I. Don't focus on anything else. Nothing else matters. You don't put it aside. You just don't let it bring it in. Okay? You don't push it out of the way or do this or do that, avoid this, avoid that. You don't allow it to bring in. When you bring in something in, it's no longer you. Okay? So try to understand how this all works through light, shades, and shadows, through the sun and through the moon. It's about balancing something, okay, that you're trying to understand. When you come into your thoughts and communication line interference, you can't get rid of bad thoughts. Bad thoughts don't exist, because if it does exist, you're allowing it in. So don't allow anything that you don't want. It's not that hard to understand these things, but is it hard to understand these things? Now you question your system, adding a big question to its setting. So don't do that through locations. If you're not understanding something in that set locations, try to get at higher levels of a deeper core line communication to your inner child, because the inner child knows all the answers. What's the correlation pattern of communication lines and location and question line calculations in general? Well, the question line set location high that low walls and high calculation. The correlation panel is not set location to its system. It tracks its correlation setting, a track line calculation setting, and Wikipedia line rotation to its setting. You become your own dictionary communication setting to information panel. Copy that. Right? I just communicate with myself. That's how you guys have to get into. Me, myself, and I. Nothing else, nothing more. Don't bring things in, because it's no longer dealing with you. You're dealing with somebody else on top of yours. Okay? So it's easy to focus on these things until you understand what to focus on. There's no negative in anything. Let me say that again. There's no negative in anything. Negative doesn't exist unless you want it to exist. Now you brought it to life. Now it's in a position. What do you do with that in this equation? So you created something that you don't want to create, but I don't know what to do with that site location system. Me, myself, and I to understand the track location of a setting. What do I do through an equation? It's already done through connections. Don't allow yourself. Because if you allow yourself to defeat yourself, you defeat your purpose, you defeat the communication line interference, all calculations setting. You change it all levels of defrag and multiples level location and fragmentation, stream location, and all high calculations, any location and computer operation I position to a setting. So don't do that through equation. Don't bring things in and you'll be fine. The only thing that you bring in is how to balance out you, how to evolve you, how to get into that set locations of you, how to get into the multidimensional line calculations of you, the universal line communications of balance of you in set locations. So everything is positive because your light is always on. Your light is always on. It's always, always on. Light comes from everywhere. But where does light come from? Outside? No, inside you. Keeping positive and keeping negative is the positive of everything. That's the process of yin and yang. Yin and yang is the polarity. How to balance out the lights, shades, and shadows of everything that you say is provision to its location system. But as soon as you add the negative to an independent line of rotation interference, put position lines calculation into a system, how you use the odd and even of numbers in set location travel, how you use the harmonic line communication setting, 246, positive, right? 135, positive. But wait a minute, General, isn't 1, 3, and 5 negative? No. Did I say it's negative? Do I allow it to say it's negative location? No. It's how you see it through interpretation, how you see it through that cycle, how you see it through positive high calculation system. It's all levels of travel mechanism. Okay? That's what it is. That's why you got to focus on yourself and stay in your own frame. In your own frame. Box, TV reception, TV line, TV calculations, TV stream. Don't be outside, be inside. Okay? There's nothing outside of anything unless you allow it to bring it in, because now it's in your location of your own space of time. Okay? So the one thing that you have to value is you. This is the one thing that you deal with is you. You don't deal with anybody else. You care about this person. That's great. Love and support. But anything else, you focus on yourself. You don't bring anything of equation that is not you. In that track line is really understand how to balance out your triangulation box of your female and triangulation box locations of your female and triangulation box location of female. That's three-line communication setting attraction. 1, 2, 3. Balance, balance, balance. Heart, mind, soul. 1 + 1 = 3. Masculinity, femininity. Box, triangle, box, triangle, box, triangle. 1, 2, 3. Balance, position, locations. There's not negative in anything. You guys have to get out of that program. That's an implementation that you have to get rid of. So setting correlation, setting the track lines. The communication all over the brain convert location setting is now a track location to a converter. That converter, it's compulsory communication line, set location, the catapult line, interference location, the catalyst, calculation, string location to a setting. Now, in that line rotation, position, and track line, you have to understand how to use it through the adaptation, several location, high interference location, all use communication line, interference of force, and position location, all of the calculation, high position, or travel. Right? Why'd I stop? Because I'm balanced position, track, communication setting. How you communicate with your hands is extremely important to a set location. But the position track line to understand positional line connections. But that's not what I'm talking about. But that's what you just said. No, that's what you think I just said. The communication line interference is off calculation setting to track location of balance. Oh. I don't get it. You don't get it because the line calculation is set in high position location. So I reverse psychology line interference. Balance position traction, balance position traction. Correlation, correlation. Communication interference, done through equation. Out. Conversation of two-line settings and high position operation, guys. Having a conversation with your system and all level line setting is focusing on you, right? So you are your own master of communication inside that reflects everything outside. Let me say that again. You're the master inside that reflects everything outside, but the outside is the inside. There's no outside of anything. So it's important you understand that you don't bring anything inside you, because now you're not dealing with you. You're opening up the door. Come on in. Come on. I don't know who you are, but that's okay. Sit over there. You're good to go. You want something to drink? You good? You want something to eat? Yeah, feel free, Take over this and take over that. Yeah, you're welcome to take that. Oh, nice to meet you, right? What did you just do? You're allowing this to happen. So now everything has changed. Intercycle communication line interference with cycle calculates high position of travel communication line setting. Right? Try to understand the process, how this all works in set locations. All right? This is all levels of scale. You know what a scale is, right? This is a scale. That's a scale, right? Balancing the scale of you. Set position locations, right? Balance. 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 Everything becomes balance inside you in position of its intelligence. Intelligence. But it stays inside. So, perfect example. Let's start an equation. All right. Here's a face recognition of you. Everything's inside you, right? Things are going well. Everything's in operation, all through pi, all through indication, all through instruction, right? Now, all of a sudden, you want to bring something in through pi. Uh-oh. So what's just happened? You got alerting sys locations to your settings, your higher self. Causes a ripple effect. Right? Set positions to its avatar. Here's the avatar line connections. Change geometry operation of its shape through pi. Oops. Then you got the calculation of the sim and location navigation setting and track to its correlation system. Okay, that's what you're dealing with every single time through pi. So if anything comes in, it's automatically change your flywheel. Redirect signals. Oh no! What's going on? Quantum interference. Right? So the higher self is to retrack, change line rotations, change the circulation back in setting. Okay? The avatar has to reshape position location of pi, and the position of the sim navigates the system out of its equation. Mega multi-pass. Okay? So now you understand the conversion locations where you basically just concentrate on yourself. Don't bring anything location in your setting because it changes everything in seconds, minutes, and hours through the higher self. through the avatar and through your sim. You okay? All right. How's everybody doing? Okay, let's see here. Connection line settings, Nikki, Gypsy, Heather, lines, Lori, line rotations, Geneva. Okay, Josh, Tina. So it's all about understanding how to put positions of track location in your systems, right? But I just wanted to show you how you become aware of everything that happens to you in seconds, minutes, and hours. Okay? So once you understand that, this is what you have to really understand. I want you to really understand what a ground is, what a connections of a car is. Okay? There's a car, right? So higher self, avatar, and set locations, travels out. Okay, and set location. Okay? So that's exactly what it is. Now I'm using it through a 45-degree angle line connection because it's all over the port of communications, right? So the sim navigates the car and travels. Okay? So that's what it is. Once you understand the higher self and the avatar and the sim, they come together as one cycle. Becomes the car, okay, in set position of travel, of navigation. Make it pass. Okay? That's all it is. That's all it is. Balancing the grounds of the higher self, balancing the avatar, geometric apparatus design, and balance out the navigation of the sim, of travel. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay? That's it. So don't bring anything in your equation because now it changes everything through your positions of your pi of indication, right? Let's say you got a correlation setting, a track line, emotional line. Now you're back in 6. Uh-oh, what just happened? Change correlations of track lines, high center of interference, all position location. That's not my emotional location of pi. That's added to this equation. Oops. So higher self has to remodify line rotations, all calculation streamlines, head set position back into grounds, operation certification setting. The avatar has to set lines of flywheel back in line rotation, center position track lines, and the calculation sim has to get out position location and travel back in line communication and center position operation. Okay, back in the equation, right? You can't add emotional line settings to your system. Okay, all right. Now, protocol stream is understanding your interpretation streamlines. Getting track to its correlation setting is a tele-waiting line cycle. Now that's position travel communications. Put your slash lines into graph line communication. Right? Understanding how to use it through provision. Right? Telegraphing. Now telegraphing is a graph line calculation setting. Box line rotation surface. Triangulation and reset position of programs. All calculation setting to your line set locations into your solar graph stream locations. Now, track locations. You got teleportation line. You break it down, energy line calculation levels into electronic line communication. Directing lines of panels, line calculation setting, set lines of calculation and interference into colossal communication setting in position attraction. Okay, done by equation. Center lines is calculation streamline. So if you understand how to use the telewaving, telecommunication, and telegraphing, you're in your position location, your activation stream locations. Everything to the higher self, everything to the avatar, and everything to the sim has everything. Has everything it needs, it has everything it wants. But the one thing that it doesn't want, let me say this again. The one thing that it doesn't want to be disturbed. It needs to be in position of the future of it now so it can indicate its system location and just keep going forward to force the recognition line calculation setting that puts your life force in position of rotation. Because the clock goes forward, it doesn't go back. So as soon as you add emotional line interference that doesn't resonate with your patterns or anything in that set location system, you just change the clocking locations, right? And it's going to go back to 12, okay? Which doesn't exist. Setting track location settings, past line, your present line, and your future communication, right? So you're here in set position. You decide to go in the past. Ooh, past has changed the future. Uh-oh. Now, you want the future, go back in the present. Future is now changed the present. Uh-oh. So in that position, you stay in the past. Your past becomes its future. Oh, okay. Really understand how this works. So I really just focus on what? Yourself. Self-development, self-gain, self-trust, self-knowledge. Okay? Get into that setting. Don't bring anything else except you, me, myself, and I. Nothing else. Because it changes everything of your spiritual growth. How you go lines of 24 line settings, high interference of 3 line calculation settings, and second locations over line calculations, and all perception locations, high calculation, and line rotations of pi. Right? Bringing in motion line connection. Right? Changes 2 is lines of 3. No, I don't want to do that. Position lines of 4, turn it into 5. No, I don't want to do that. Position lines of 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. I didn't do that set locations. I added another line 1 rotation. So that changes all levels of interference into your higher self, ground lines, set position to its avatar, sets position off calculation setting, waving line cycles, calculation string location of sim, not understanding the travel, not understanding the mechanism, not understanding positional program set location operation. Oops. Okay. Do you see what can happen if you don't concentrate on your own setting? All right, back in the division line setting. So there's no negative in anything, is there? Negative is not a word. Negative is a source. Negative equals GOD. Okay, its own geometric operation design. It's an engine-like kind of high setting. It travels out in set position. Positive. Nothing is negative. Negative doesn't exist. Negative goes forward. Negative goes back. Direct and redirect. But it's not a negative word in any way and form. So when you bring the equation to anybody else through that fragmentation line interference, you're setting up default channels. You're setting up all position locations in direct line connections to your astrological location setting attractions into your 13-month inset location. Off calculation, right? No, it's not 13, it's 12. No, it's not, it's 10. No, it's 8. No, it's not 7. No, it's not 6. No, it's not 8, 7. No, it's position of 5. This is what happens when you create a negative line cycle line connection to 13 graph locations. Negative cycle gets confused. It doesn't understand your position track lines. So it confuses your avatar, it confuses your higher self, and it confuses your sim. Right? Sets line communication line centers, line position locations of what? Air. Right? So now you understand the important location setting where you just focus on yourself. It's easy, right? But see, the thing is, understanding easy is understanding how it becomes easy. It's not the why. It's the how. Okay? Why equals how, right? We start with the Y line, okay? In position locations, all levels of flux capacitor. Negative, positive, but this is positive, and this is positive. This is not negative. This is positive over positive. Positive over positive equals calculations of box, let's say box locations, male position line connection of female, set locations on pi, right? Abundance, right? So we all have to understand how to reiterate words, position of process, correlation, setting of track lines, how you use the psychological line calculations, and high positions. So how's your day going? I don't know. Well, are you going to add that in equation? Are you going to take that in information line settings because somebody says that to you? Because if you do that, it affects everything in your higher self avatar and sim. Because remember, you're working with seconds, minutes, and hours at set location. Change your seconds line calculation setting, change your minutes line communication, and changes all levels of your hours of pi, and pi. Uh-oh. Sending track locations crosses streams. Okay, things are going well, right? So center line condition, here comes the motion line setting. No! Changes graphs. No, I don't want that. No, I don't want that. No, what are you doing? No, don't go there. Please don't go there. Because you allowed something in, which changes your whole holographic of its design, of structure. Keeping your positions of track line is keeping yourself in modification, creating a dome. Looks great. Doing it on your own, right? There's the down, right? Emotional line track comes into the center. Uh-oh. Changes all graph lines. Sets lines of correlation, setting, and track and inference. Offline position location. Not good. You see how important it is? Okay. So, there's a lot of ways to look at these things because the brain is trying to understand you. Okay. And if it understands you, then you understand the value, how much you are to yourself is unconditionally. And when you understand the unconditionally, you understand the abundance, then you understand the manifestation, and then you understand the correlation, and then you understand the discernment, and then you understand the surrender. Whoa. So everything that you deal with is levels of you and nothing else. Do not focus on anything else. Only you. Okay? So I'm showing you so many different ways of what happens, how it affects your system soon as you bring an emotional connection. Okay? So understand the defrag to the fragmentation line set location to the optical line communication sending attraction. Box position line centers, pixelation. Okay? Working through graph locations, right? Doing extremely well. Adding lines of zero in line connections all levels. 3 patterns. Go location of all inside location of pyramid. Fibonacci line swirl. Set locations. Here comes the line calculations, cross line string locations in quantum line setting. Here's a question mark communication to a system, right? Here comes emotional line setting. Coming in set locations. All right. Confusion. That's not what you created. Okay. You created this, not this. So negative equals what this is created through. That's not good. So the brain doesn't stand in interpretation. So what's it going to do? It's all going to go back. Okay. There you go. So don't bring negative line calculation setting because it doesn't exist. It only exists if you want it to exist. You can't get rid of anything. You have to balance it out through yin and yang. And that's it. Yin and yang process position. Why do you think you have the indications of 8 and 8? Why do you think you have the position location 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8? What is the correlation setting and track locations to your system and traction? What's position location and center line communication to your system? What's the balance position location on all levels and high center location? What is the balance correlation setting to magnetic highway information line connections? What is the balance coordinate high and line rotations of yin and yang, the process position location on levels, light shades and shadows, and position attraction? Balance, 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 balance. Going forward, not going back. Every time you go back, you're changing everything in seconds, minutes, and hours. Okay. And it affects everything through color, everything through light, everything through intelligence, everything through operation, everything through modification, everything through your higher self, your avatar, and your sim. All because you brought something forward that's not supposed to be in your position of direction. So don't allow it. It doesn't exist unless you want it to exist. Remember, we go in the correlation setting and track lines. We went in position locations into cancel, right? What does that mean? What does that mean? Is that bad? Cancel. What does that mean? You're canceling something out, right? But is it bad? No, it's positive. But you think it's bad. You think it's negative. It's not negative. It's positive. You're changing the correlation. You're changing the answer. You're changing the neutralization. You're changing the calculation communication, changing the energies of its level. Whoa, look at that. It's high rising. Sun comes in, line position, location, attraction. Pyramid, mountain. Okay, so what's inside location of a pyramid? A mountain. There's a reason why you have to understand how everything is protected inside location of setting attractions. Okay, there's nothing negative in anything. Okay, everything is positive. See, the thing is, you have light and dark. You got to balance out the light and dark to perceive the set location of your settings. knowing how fast you're going through acceleration, right? So there is a positive and there's a negative, but you can't get rid of it. So in negative line calculation, you're talking about the moon. You can't get rid of the moon. You have to balance out the moon, which is light and dark of its moon. So there's a light web and there's a dark web of the moon, just like there is a light web and a dark web in positions to its sun. It's how you see yourself through refraction, how you see yourself defragmentation. This is how you see yourself through all factor calculations, stream location, your settings, and psychological communication. How you use this is all provision to your settings. Focus on yourself. Don't bring anything in equation and you will be fine. Okay? Because your brain is just trying to interpret everything that you perceive and see all at once. Okay? You're in the center line of communication. This is you, right? You got the ground lines, you got the service lines, you got triangulation and high position locations all over the set location. You got your oral communication setting attractions. Okay, you got your teleportation waveline streams into your calculation, your test rate, tetra region, and modification cycles. It's all good, right? It's all ready to go. But something just happened. Something negative just came in. Ooh, just changed the grounds. Oh my gosh, it just changed my center position of operation. Not good. Oh boy, what's going on? You're going this way. No, it wants to go this way. No, I think I'll go down this way, right? All through negative cycle. Okay, I'm showing you what you are doing is you're bringing in its intelligence and you're adding the equation into a negative cycle that doesn't exist. If it exists, it's in its existence of its own setting, of its own computer operation. Do you understand the importance of that? How it conflicts everything to your emotional system. Okay? All right. So that is going to give you a lot more balance now. Okay? Setting track line. In this position, is this off balance? Just because it's a line signature. Is this off balance? No. Nothing is off balance. So it's positive equals positive. Where's the negative? The negative is positions of being together. Mega pass. Okay? That's what it is. It's balancing out the lights, shades, and shadows, a set position of traction, of communication. Mega multi-pass. Lights, shades, and shadows is everything through structure of a building. Reflections of the sun and the moon. Okay? So there's positive in everything, right? Everything and anything. There's no negative in anything, of anywhere, of any place. Okay? So cancel, delete, and erase is just basically putting something back into its light, shades, and shadows of where it's supposed to be in balance of, you guessed it, yin and yang. Birthing position line consists of yin and yang. How to really understand how to balance everything out. Nature is balance of everything. It doesn't have negative anything because it knows what it's doing. Like I say with a tree knows its seasons. It knows exactly what it needs to understand through its cold and hot fronts. It has set locations on spring, summer, winter, and fall. You are connected to spring, summer, winter, fall inside. Through coloration, through light, through space, through time. Right? So what you are perceiving is what you are changing through interpretation. And that's how it sees everything through emotional system. So really understand you have emotional system that you cannot get rid of because you're asking your moon to move. You can't move your moon. Okay? The only thing you can do is balance it out. You can only balance out the moon. You can't do anything else. Okay? Balancing everything. If you get attracted to its communication setting and somebody comes up to you and says something that you don't want to resonate with, and you're allowing that to bring it in set locations, you now just change the factor correlation setting to your attraction. All through portals, all through stargates, all through data, inputs, outputs, all through Asgard, okay, all through North Command, all through traffic, all through highways, all through command centers, all through spaceships, all through UFOs, all because you allowed something in. Keep yourself in your own lane, inside, stay with inside. Do not go outside position location. Okay? You understand that? You don't bring anything outside because now it's emotion. Because now you're not dealing with space. You're dealing with other calculations of other galaxies and other universe line conditions, other entities, position of force line. Uh-oh. Okay. All right. So now you understand the provision location when you say stay in your own lane. You stay in your own lane, you're good to go. You can do anything you want, travel where you want, position location, because the only thing you're focusing on is you. That's what I'm saying. You, me, okay, myself, and I. Okay? So, getting provisions of practical setting line, condition of 0 lines, set location of 3 line rotations. Track correlations of 1, 2, and 3 line connections of 4 in track location. Right? Now, that indicates lines of 2. 2 lines centers provision. Center lines of communication of the sun and the moon track to its location. Right? So we take the center lines of 1, 3 in line calculation setting and traction, bring it into formation line setting. Everything I do is positive. There's nothing negative that I do because I don't allow it in my system. It doesn't exist because I know what it is because I created it, right? Creation comes from everything of yin and yang, guys. It's very simple to understand these things. So it's balancing the sun and the moon, but it's not just balancing the sun and the moon. It's balancing the light, shades, and shadows of you, which is a negative cycle if you allow it in. And if you allow it in, it changes what? What does it change? Where are your indications when you look at things? Is it in the past? Is it in the present? Or is it in its future? Because automatically it's changed everything. And regardless of you not understanding, it doesn't matter. Your force, life force, line stream is going to go backwards in time. Okay? So don't allow it. Okay? Perceive it and let it go through. All right, so in that track location line centers, laser grids, sets positions of A, B's, and C's. Okay, we want A, B, C line center locations. Absent lines, laser applications, high crosses, stream location, 2 patterns. Triangulation at 3 set position programs. Okay, now position lines, XT1000 comes in. Right, bounce correlation setting to track lines into set position operation. Triangulation high centers. There's the dimensional sail. Boom, right there. See how that works through ABC? Now the 1, 2, 3 line center locations. Let's change the 2 lines into 3 and 3 lines into 4. Sets position of 7. 7 bodies of water. Correlation setting in the line, chord lines, and a high interference of an S line rotation. Changes correlation setting in position of 2 and then 3 and 4 and 6 and 8 and 10 and 12 set location of point systems. Point directing line calculations. Another XT1000 comes in. Line rotation. Other side calculations. Balance position line calculations of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Set position and traction. Opens all signals, opens all grounds, line calculation setting in all lines of frames, in position location of track lines, all calculation of rainbow streams, directing signals, calculation of consciousness, and all position location of its operation surface and set location. That my equation. Okay? All right, so remember we got in waiting signal location of track lines and high setting? Well, are we moving forward or are we moving backwards? Because you see this. See? You say, hey, that's in the past. No, it's not. Where is it? Where is it? Is it in the future? No, it's I am future. Changing track lines. This is so far in the future. It's in the future of the now. Okay. So anything you see, hey, General, do that already. No, no, because I'm adding frame. It's not passive anything. Everything that I say is done. There's no past, there's no present, there's no future. It's all timelines all at once. So your indication every time you say something has already been said. Okay. So the only thing that exists is the future, not the past, not the present. Now you got to understand these things, how this all works. When you come into provisional location to anything that line calculation of cycle communication setting and position of track correlation setting, you have to understand how to represent yourself in all levels of communications. I am my future. I am the future. The refers to the line communication of your universe and set location and setting. Okay. I am my universe. I am my higher self. I am my avatar. I am my sim. Okay. That is in provision location of the future. So in your position line connections, everywhere you go, you are in the future of everything. Present hasn't been known yet of your presence because you're coming back into your memory. Okay. So what's going on with that future line? You're changing the present moment of seconds, minutes, and hours of your set location of travel. Do you understand that? Wherever you go, okay, you're changing everything back of who you are is who you are becoming as I am this. I am that. I am here. I am there. It's not a doubt system in any way and form. And the only thing that I see is going forward. I don't see anything else on platform on any level as applications. And something you don't resonate, don't bring it in. Because it changes your paradigm. It changes your polarities. It changes paradox. It changes your pulsars. Okay? Make it pass. All right? So adding frame communication is an indicating line screen. We set lines of 3 positions. Now that's a dimensional door lock that we set position of travels. Sets correlation setting into the center communication of cerebral. Okay? Done my equation. Now, I can take that through equation out. Where does it go? Where does it go? Where did it go? Right? Where did it go? Back in its brain. So if you understand how to relate things of communication, all of those future adaptation, that's the thing that you focus on is the most, set locations. Everything that you say to yourself has already been in provision. Okay? You're not saying something for the first time. So in that line calculation setting, you have never been in the presence of yourself. You've always been in the future. Setting positions of past and present is position attraction. Okay? Past is now an echo. Echo equals lines of memory. That's all it is. Present is coming into equal calculation line interference of your memory. Getting memory past position, memory equals line calculation setting to your future equals line communication, line calculation line settings of the now. And that's what you're coming into, right? So you guys are in the future line setting. There's never been a past of anything. So if there's never been a past of anything, there hasn't been anything through negative cycle locations. So really understand that is balancing the yin and yang of you in set location. That's all you got to do. So one indication lines, you have 2 track location of settings, 3 line provisions, and 4 in center. Okay? Understanding the track communications into Merkabah test and to the space in between. Direct line communication to yourself, direct communication settings and attractions in the 3-way line cycle location of center. Track test correlation setting opens up panels, opens up high calculation setting inline rotation to its space recognition time sequence in position location to its future of its now. Make it pass. But everything is inside me. I don't have anything in chance that comes out. I don't have anything that comes in. You understand? You understand what that means? The input and output is extremely important to your system locations because not only you're bringing the inner line calculation, but you're also bringing the outer line. There's an inner link and outer link to everything that you bring in through emotional location and negative cycle. Negative cycle creates an alter ego. Same with the positive line communications. But in that line communication setting, if you're bringing things in, you're bringing things out. So in that set of locations, you got another sending communication coming in. Oh my gosh, look at this. Oh wow, look. Oh no, that's not good. No. Oh well, face recognition doesn't look good now. What's going on? It's been taken over. Not good, right? Because you're allowing yourself, right? To know yourself is to control yourself. And I keep saying that if you're in a car or in that location, is controlling something that's out of control. Okay. All right. So I'm just showing you provision. Everything I do is never out of equation. Everything I do is positive settings. It's not about understanding the creation, it's understanding the source of its creation. If you look at a point system, right, you have to look at it this way instead of locations. You can't see it from afar, right? You have to put on your glasses, in that position. So you have to get it in position to know exactly what you're looking at. This is the point of what it is up close. Okay? You understand? And then you understand, you break these things down, you look at yourself, which is also location in your system, and you scan it, each one, each particle, each string, each dimension, each space, each source, each recursion time sequence. Okay? In the space in between of everything through its time frame of its box. Everything's inside. Nothing is outside. Okay? So now you understand that, how this all works. Wow. So if I'm on a triangulation in a box, okay, is that a box triangulation or is that a triangulation of box? What do you see first? What do you see first? What comes first? What did I just say? That's the indication, right? But right away, you think it's a female male. No, it's a male female. Do you see the interpretation where you guys get confused? The location of the mind, the manipulation line, set location of reverse psychology, location of psychosis, location of the high side, location of psychological calculations and reset position programs. I understand. All right. This is a box location of female. 4 positions of provision. Okay. There's 4 line calculations, right? And 3 calculations of setting. All right. So 4 lines of communication across the string. Set position travel lines and 7 position operation. Okay. So it's what I say it is, not what you think it is. There's no thinking process. Because as soon as you think, hesitation, negative. Right? Set position location operation line, off grid line, negative. Anything rogue in communication setting, negative. But is it negative? Because I'm saying it's negative? Do you believe it's negative? Because I say it's negative? Well, it's my determination what it is. Negative is positive. Negative equals positive. Negative equals positive. Negative equals positive. There's no negative in anything, is there? So this is a program that we all have to understand how this all works in set locations, how you see yourself through perception locations, right? Thank you, Quartz. So what we're doing is we're trying to understand our boxes and our triangulations through understanding the communication of yin and yang. Understanding the flux capacitor of our set locations, right? So in that set line conditions, you understand the box, and then it becomes a triangulation, right? Triangulation comes into the center position operation of you. Okay, boom, right? That's the space and time. You protected system locations. Congratulations, you're protecting it, right? So you understand the male and the female of you is in process location of polarities. The positions of the male and female will not come into your set of locations if you get in your location, your emotional line connections. You're going to be separated. So triangulation, calculation, line interference brings in the box, right? Box comes in set position, right? You see how that works? So it's a triangulation into a box, okay, which is female, male. So really understand, again, you bring the sun and you bring the moon that protects the system, okay? So balance is everything, guys. Balance is everything, okay? True, there you stand. Balance is everything, right? On 1, 2, and 3 angles, okay? Setting location, sun and the moon. Sending locations to the sun and the moon. Sending locations to the sun and the moon. Right? Everything I do is balanced through pi, indirect signal. Okay? But everything is inside. Nothing is outside. Nothing is outside. Okay? So I really want you to understand how this all works, because you're working with a box frame of a TV reception. That's a location. That's all you're dealing with. Understanding your points, understanding your locations, understanding your lacing lines, understanding your waving patterns, understanding your electrical communication circuits, right? Understanding your box position and travel settings in box location, right? So set locations of 3 box locations, right? Set locations of 4 box locations, all right? And then the sun and the moon comes in and protects the system location, which is your pyramid. So what's inside a pyramid? Everything that you structured of its design. Mega pass. Why do you think there's so many pyramids around here through astral projections? To protect your system locations of everything that you design in your mind. Now, doesn't that blow your mind? Right? Okay, so now you understand why you have pyramids, why you're a pyramid. So you're an indicator, your line calculation sending, transmitting, and receiving to one pyramid to the next, because you're all connected to each other now. One pyramid lines. You got an astral communication line, direct communication high center interference. Chris controlling all pyramids of astral projection. Right? Sending correlation lines of Heather, direct locations all over the captain, and Hendel communication sending attraction. Right? Signify. Okay? Perception. Okay? There you go. Done. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So now you understand why we have set locations in mountains. What is protecting the mountain communication with setting? The pyramid that's inside that you structure your design location system. When you guys are sleeping and line calculation and recharging, where do your images go? Where are they stored? In the structure of its design of its pyramid. Mega pass. Okay? Doesn't that just blow you away? Now you understand why we have pyramids of perception, location, and astral travels and astral projection. It's all indicating line calculation setting to your line settings into your position locations and all set location. That's all it is of indication. That's all it is. Film projector, the sun and the moon, lights, boom. Okay? So now you understand why you have pyramids. You understand the set locations, right? So in position location, setting correlations. This is the mountain. Okay? This is your pyramid. It's that location. Okay? So that's why we have mountains, to protect all levels of position locations of what you create through your image. Okay? Does that help you out to understand what is going on with your line communications? How you use and perceive these things through your thought, direction, and time sequence? How do you understand how to use the cerebral and the placebo to its cortex of its design? Right? So now you know where the images go in pyramids is that location. Right? Now, getting into the position of track line is really understand how to see it through a film. Okay. Set locations, film project location line send its high position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 locations. Right? Now each has a story frame, walking center line interference, high track location of systems, right? Fibonacci line swirl, position location of all levels set positional lines, another Fibonacci line swirl, 2 other pattern communications, question mark, line calculation setting, position locations all levels of percentage, high set location line center, number 6 line calculation setting, number 4 line rotations, have position locations, walking surface line, ground lines, operational line calculation setting, position locations to 2 atom line calculation, stream locations, Walking ground lines, high interference to the mountain line rotations. Sun comes in line calculates string location attractions. All line center interference and another Fibonacci line swirl locations into one lines of communication of two line graph location. Costa records. Everything is stored in your pyramid. Okay. Now, once you understand that, in set location, the sun and the moon comes in and protects the image of set position location of face recognition. Mega multipass. Okay. Now, this is about the indication where it comes into tombs. This is where it comes into mummies. Really understand this set location line interference and all set locations, why it's wrapped into set location of setting. It's kind of like a connection high interference of magic and line calculations and abundance. Setting locations of mummies and line rotation interference is all trapped in correlation setting and manifestation. That's the true understanding when it comes into tombs, the scarabs, or line position location in Egypt, and line calculation stream locations in a film position location of pyramids, and activation location and projection. Okay, all through a story frame. So now you know where your images are stored. Okay, in set locations. All right. I know you guys are mind blown. All right. That's right, Chris. There's two line communication settings. There's the upper line and there's the lower line. Communications travel lines. Equal line communications high center position. Right? Pyramid communication, track location line settings. Okay. And a lower communication in a pyramid line rotation setting. Okay. There's the complete position. Okay. There it is right there. That's the pyramid. And then you get position location of your film strip and line connections. Whoa! So now you know what you're working with. So it's about understanding the balance set in between of the intelligent location of systems. Right? Balancing everything of what's above and what's below in set location. How to use your torical fields and line calculation sending attraction. How to use the mechanism line calculation lines of orbs and line rotation, but everything's inside. Okay? Set position locations, what you created. Here's the mountain. Whoa! So what's inside a mountain? Your astral projection of your image, of your thoughts, of what you created through design. Now that line communication line interference sets position location of the sun and the moon and protects everything that you designed its position attraction. Okay? Stored through its information. Okay? So, what a powerful class. All right? Connecting the line calculation setting. Now you understand why we have pyramids. Why were pyramids built? Somebody understand that? They were built for you to understand the image of what you created. So we use the mountains. It's cloak and dagger. It's evocation. All right? So I just want to understand what you guys are into and what you're coming up to. It's set location and travels. So really understand the position locations of what comes into your system, especially when you come into outer body experience. You know, that's just basically your connections at levels. You see yourself from below and you see yourself traveling for the first time, right? So that's always an indication, but you're always working with what? Pyramids. So your body, your traction of consciousness is turning into a what? Merkaba, tesseract, and a tetrahedron. Once you understand that process from above and from below, then you understand the process, how to travel through the mind, and the mind becomes the travel of navigation. Okay? All right, so now I get a little bit understanding how this all works. Locations, how pyramids are set position of travels, right? Because everything is an indication to your settings of your life force. It's all direct application in your settings, where it comes into the Sumerian text, where it comes into the celestial, when it comes into the ancestry, when it comes into all levels of foundations of you, the builders, founders, and pioneers of your oversoul. Yes. Are we connecting now in set location? See how that all works? Right? You guys are your own builders, founders, and pioneers of your system. And your oversoul is the complete cycle of the higher self to the atom to your sim. Yin and yang. 6 and 9. Mega, mega, mega pass. 6 and 9. Hello! Woo! We're done. Now, it's amazing what we just came into to really understand the process, how this all works now. So your provision, your cycles, and your calculation setting in track location setting is about balancing you in all levels of yin and yang. Through the higher self, through the avatar, and through the sim. Creates the force of recognition of life force line settings in your position location to your pyramid. Okay? I know, isn't it amazing to come in that track lines? See you in 5. Adios. You do.